She accomplished a lot as our mayor. Any of her accomplishments stand out more than others to you?
I think she raised the levee at Claremore Lake, and the Ducks Unlimited, you know, they gave more water, and the Ducks Unlimited made her the Citizen of the Year. And then
The hospital foundation was,
well, she sold the hospital,
right.
and she tore down the fairgrounds and built that, because the fairgrounds was just a rat's nest.
Right.
And then, and here's a funny story. J.D. Bosler had a construction company here. Well, my mother decided that the electric company, the electric department, and the water department needed a new building to store their equipment in, and people and so on and so forth, supplies. So she called J.D. Bosler and she said, I want you to build a building for the water department. Ragsdale was the head of it then. I don't know who was the electric department. Grady Dow, maybe.
Maybe.
And so I want you to build this building for these two departments. And so J.D. Bosler said, well, what kind of permits do I need to get? Building permits, or what do I have to do to get? She said, tell you what, J.D., why don't you just go ahead and build it? We'll see if anybody asks about it. So she just said, build it.
Yeah.
And she would just do that kind of thing.
I know she did the Claremore beautification project too. That was
she got
one I remember.
She got the federal grant from the Bureau of Recreation to do the lake and some other things like that.
Right.
And the ducks, and I don't know what else she did. I think Phil Viles Sr. was big with the GRDA, but I think she was involved with the GRDA, making sure. And then she got crossways with the city of Tulsa because they wanted to call the port of Catoosa the Tulsa, but it's really in Rogers County.
Right.
She wanted to call it Claremore. And then the city of Tulsa wanted the water out of Lake Oologah, and she got crossways with them about that's my water, because you have to have water if you're going to grow your city.
Right.
So she was not to be taken lightly, not to be fooled with. So it's that atmosphere of competition that I grew up with, and it.
But she also had a fabulous sense of humor.
Your
mom.
Yeah.
She loved to laugh, and she drove my sister and I and the cheerleaders to the football games when they were out of town. And I remember one time I was in the back seat and Elizabeth was driving, and we were going to see a game over in Bartlesville. And she was driving, and I was telling her some story, and I said, I almost had a hernia. I was laughing so hard. And I remember your mom kind of stopped, and her head kind of tilted, so I was behind her. Finally, she said, Mary, do you even know what a hernia is? And I said, no clue. I just heard my brother say it.